amigos. This is Billy Sheehan saying hello to you on StereoZona. Well, I've been doing bass distortion since 1971, and I consider myself a bass distortion expert because I've been doing it since the beginning. There's many ways to get a bass to get high gain distortion. Most of them are very difficult, and it's been a long, difficult task to make it work correctly. I'm glad to see other people now are discovering that basses can distort and sound good. That's why my Yamaha bass has two outputs. One is the low. Then I split this one. One is clean. The other side is distortion. So if you use distortion only, you'll never get a bass tone. You got to have a real bass tone along with your distortion, or it never works. And that's the mistake I think some people are making, because a bass is a bass. It's much different than a guitar. And I play it different, and I think it different. I play guitar also, but I'm two completely different approaches. Four strings is plenty. I'm still learning something new every day on four string. I have another bass I tune lower, tune B-E-A-D, for when I need a super low, and I've got a single neck and a double neck. The double neck is tuned normal and then one tuned lower, so I don't use the 5. I just know a lot of engineers in the recording business, whenever a bass player pulls out a 5 or 6 string, they roll their eyes and go, oh boy, here we go. For me, the show and the song are always the most important thing. It can be the greatest technique in the world, but if you're just standing there and not enjoying yourself, I'm not enjoying myself either. I play a lot of fancy stuff, but I try to do it in music that means something. And I think now too many people are wrapped up and lost in the technique. It's about communication. It's about enjoying yourself. It's about people paying their hard-earned money to come in to see you play. So they want to see something good. So my job always is to give them the best, and if I can, do my best. And I go up on stage and I forget all about all the technique. Just play. I disagree completely. I disagree. Alive and Kicking, all the stuff from Mr.big, the bass is right in there with the bass drum. All the Eat 'em and Smile, the bass is right in there with the bass drum. A couple licks here and there. All the Steve Vai on all the Real Illusion stuff I recorded with him, bass is rock solid in there, super solid with the bass drum. All the Nias and stuff. So I disagree. If your free playing isn't in time, it's no good. So when I play with Dennis Chambers and Niacin, we're playing in time. When I play with Pat Torpy, with Mr.big, we're in time. What happens is somebody posts a solo on YouTube, and then people all over the world see it and think, that's all that he does. And that's all he's ever done, is that one solo on YouTube. It was one part of one night out of 4,000 shows. The first thing I ever learned about bass, before I even had a bass, when I was a little kid, is that when the drummer hits his bass drum, you got to hit a bass note. And I knew that before I even had a bass. I barely played guitar. I played a couple chords. Very rudimentary rhythm guitar. When I play guitar now, it's very different for me. I approach it differently. I use a stone pick. I can't do the things I do on bass. I can't do them on guitar. It's very important for me to have a big line drawn between the two. Big, very high fence. Guitar playing and bass playing are very different for me. Yeah. I keep them dry. dry. Because if they get wet, the calluses get soft, and the string cuts in, and it's no good. No. I don't know. I hope so. I'd love to play. Write to the other guys and see if you can convince them. But Mr. Big was a great band, and I'm very proud of everything we did. And everyone in the band was supremely talented, and we made some great records, if I can say so myself. So I'm very pleased to hear that people are. I think they should listen to more music, because many instruments play a lot of notes: saxophones, violins, pianos. Before the guitar soloed, the bass soloed, but then the guitar started soloing. Eventually, back in history. I remember seeing a Dixieland band play one time. Bass solo, drum solo, piano solo, trumpet solo, clarinet solo, trombone solo. No guitar solo. There was a guitar player, but he didn't solo, It's a guitar-centric world. People think in terms of guitar. And so when they see frets and strings, they think guitar. And it's just not right. I don't pay much attention to the guitar when I'm performing. I'm watching the drummer the whole time. I'm locking with the drummer. So that's super important. So people who think that I'm a guitar player, well, I can't stop you from thinking whatever you want to think. It's a free world. Think what you like. But in my humble opinion, I'm a bass player. I play bass. Well, the world's a funny place, and history marches on, and things change. Things come and things go. I would never, ever be a part of anything that did something illegal or wrong or stupid. And if somebody in Scientology does something illegal, wrong, or stupid, they're going to have trouble from me, because I hate that shit. I make it very important part of my life to be an honest person, to be a straight shooter, and to try and help people. And that's where I'm at. Like I said, time moves on. Governments come and governments go. I respect the government of France, and I respect their decisions, and we'll just move on from there.